Snowflakes drifted gently outside the frosted windows of Emily Carter's cozy New Hampshire home. The scent of cinnamon and pine filled the air as she carefully tied red ribbons around the last of the presents beneath the Christmas tree. The holidays had always been Emily's favorite time of year, a time for family, forgiveness, and second chances. But this Christmas felt different. Quieter. It was Emily's first Christmas since her husband, Mark, passed away the previous spring. His sudden heart attack had left her heartbroken, and the once lively house felt painfully empty. Though she had planned to spend the holiday with her sister in Boston, Emily decided instead to stay home and honor Mark's favorite tradition, decorating the old family home and preparing his beloved Christmas roast. On Christmas Eve morning, Emily sat by the window, sipping cocoa, lost in thought. She couldn't help but remember the laughter, the music, and the way Mark used to sing carols off-key just to make her smile. She had just begun wrapping the final gift, a framed photo of her and Mark from their last Christmas together, when the doorbell suddenly rang. When she opened the door, she froze. Standing on the snowy porch was Ryan Carter, Mark's son from his first marriage. Emily hadn't seen Ryan in nearly 5 years. The last time they spoke, it had been tense. He had blamed her for moving his father away from their hometown, believing she'd kept them apart. "Ryan," Emily whispered, her voice trembling. He stood there, tall and hesitant, holding a small duffel bag. "Hi, Emily. I didn't mean to just show up. I didn't know where else to go." Emily stepped aside immediately, her heart racing. "Of course, come in. You must be freezing." Ryan nodded and stepped inside. The warmth of the fireplace touched his face, and his eyes scanned the living room, the stockings, the lights, the family photos. He paused on one picture, him and his dad fishing when he was a boy. Emily noticed the way his shoulders slumped slightly. "I wasn't sure you'd want me here," Ryan said quietly. Emily took a deep breath. "Ryan, your family. You'll always be welcome here." The two sat down, an awkward silence lingering between them as the clock ticked softly in the background. Emily prepared him a cup of cocoa, and when she handed it to him, Ryan smiled faintly. "Dad used to make it this way, extra marshmallows," he said. She smiled gently. "I remember." He said it wasn't Christmas without them. Over the next few hours, the tension began to melt away. They talked, first about Mark, then about Ryan's job, his move to Chicago, and his regrets about not coming home sooner. Emily listened, her heart warming as she realized how much Ryan reminded her of his father, not just in appearance but in kindness. When evening fell, Emily invited him to join her in decorating the last part of the house, the Christmas tree in the den. They opened the old box of ornaments together, laughing over Mark's silly, pickle ornament tradition. Every year, he'd hide a glass pickle somewhere in the tree, and whoever found it first on Christmas morning would win a special gift. Ryan chuckled. "I used to win that every year." Emily grinned. "I know. Your dad used to cheat so you'd find it." For the first time in years, they both laughed, really laughed. Later that night, as carols played softly, Emily brought out one final present she had hidden away, a gift she'd prepared for Mark before he passed. It was a journal she'd made, filled with letters, memories, and photos from their years together. "I was going to give this to your dad last Christmas," she said quietly, placing it in Ryan's hands. "But I think he'd want you to have it now." Ryan opened it slowly, reading the first page. His eyes welled up as he saw a picture of his father smiling on their fishing trip. "Thank you," he whispered. "I've missed him so much." Emily nodded, her own eyes misty. "Me too." They spent the rest of the night reading through the journal, laughing at old stories and sharing their own. For the first time since Mark's death, Emily didn't feel so alone. And for the first time in a long time, Ryan felt like he'd found home again. The next morning, Christmas Day, sunlight streamed through the curtains. Emily woke to the sound of laughter from the living room. When she walked in, Ryan was on the floor surrounded by wrapping paper, holding a small box. "I found the pickle ornament," he announced proudly. Emily laughed in surprise. "You did not." "Did too." He held up the tiny glass pickle, grinning. "Well, that means you win the special gift," she said, walking over to the mantel and pulling down a small envelope with a red bow. Inside was a handwritten note. "To whoever finds the pickle, may this gift remind you that family is the real treasure of Christmas." Under the note was a key. Ryan looked puzzled. "What's this?" Emily smiled. "It's the key to the cabin by the lake. Your dad always wanted you to have it someday. He said it was where he felt closest to you." Ryan looked at her with tears in his eyes. "I don't know what to say. Just promise you'll visit it. And remember him there." He nodded. I will. The two hugged, a real, heartfelt embrace that seemed to erase years of distance and misunderstanding. That evening, they cooked dinner together, Mark's famous roast, and invited a few neighbors over. The house filled once again with warmth, laughter, and the sound of love. As they sat by the fire after everyone had gone home, Ryan turned to Emily. I think Dad would be happy to see this, he said softly. Emily smiled, looking at the flickering flames. I think he's here with us, in every laugh, every memory, every light. Outside, snow began to fall again, blanketing the world in peaceful silence. And for the first time since she lost him, Emily felt at peace. She realized that love doesn't end with goodbye, it lives on in the people we hold close, in the memories we keep, and in the hearts that find their way back home. That Christmas, both Emily and Ryan discovered something beautiful, that family isn't just about who's here, but about who we carry with us forever.